everybody. This is Dr. Forth, and today I'm actually going to be talking about the trap of perfectionism and how it can lead to procrastination. Of course, we always want to set good goals and expectations to stretch ourselves and encourage ourselves to reach higher goals and so forth. They should help you to move to the next level. As you prepare for your next term, you should look at reasonable expectations for your accomplishments and what you need to do to get to the next step on the academic journey. But you don't want to fall into the trap of perfection paralysis or an endless loop of perfectionism. I remember when I was working at Caltech, somebody, and I can't remember who it is, but it was one of the professors there. He said, in any research article, eventually you have to restrain the author and just submit it to publication, because otherwise you're just going to edit and revise and edit and tweak and revise forever. And having worked with the faculty there, I can assure you that that is in fact true. Same thing with your academic progress. So you want to set goals, you want to stretch yourself, you want to reach for the next rung of your academic achievement, but you don't want to spend so much time organizing, planning, and sorting everything out that you fail to do the task that you were trying to get organized. Perfectionism is not really the pursuit of excellence, but it's really a method of facilitating procrastination. So you don't want to do that. You need to set up your organizational plan, get your tools in order, but at some point you actually have to put down the tools and actually go to class. So you want to aim for about 60 to 70% preparation. Get your schedule together, gather the essentials, and then go to class. A lot of the things that you need to do can be refined as you're going through the term. When I got ready to launch the channel, I watched so many videos about how to make good videos, proper lighting, where to put the camera. And that was necessary and appropriate because I'm not a video production genius. So I had to learn the basics. I shot so many videos and I deleted them all. I'm not a big fan of cameras in general, and I'm never happy with how I look. So I've decided that when I do my editing, I try not to look at myself and critique it too much. Otherwise, there will be no video content for the channel whatsoever. So I set the position of the camera and the level of the lighting and make sure my chair is at an appropriate height. Try to remember to look at the camera and then just present the materials, kind of trying to ignore myself. Of course, now I'm talking about it's very hard to do. Uh, if I was not determined to escape the perfectionism, the channel would not exist and I would probably still be in the office trying out camera angles. So we don't want that. We have to actually accomplish something eventually. So somewhere between the move fast and break things concept and sitting at the desk organizing ourselves infinitely is the right mix. There's an idea called the 5 minute rule. You commit to just 5 minutes of work at a time. So you sit down and you say, okay, I'm just going to sit for 5 minutes. 5 minutes, I'm going to really focus on doing this specific thing. It's not going to be about finding the perfect pen and looking for the right textbook. It's about actually getting things done. You can do that. Focus for 5 minutes at a time. And as I said, the 60 to 70% ready is a good idea for starting. You're not going to possibly know everything that needs to happen for the term before it starts. A lot of it is figuring things out as you go along. So a good baseline, things that could maybe be part of the 60 to 70% preparation would be you will go to class. for each class session and arrive on time. Actually listen and take relevant notes and put the due dates in your calendar right away with alerts. Those are reasonable expectations. You can easily accomplish that. Once you're doing those things, you can figure out other things along the way, like maybe what is the best journal for the particular class that has articles that are relevant, or who are the people in your class that might make good study group members. Remember from other videos I talked about that you want to be selective with your study group members. Otherwise, it very quickly devolves into a socialization experiment. And sometimes you also end up with people who just kind of don't do anything. So be selective with who you choose. But those are things that you can figure out as you're going through the class. You don't want to waste all your time at the desk rearranging your pencils and whatnot. Who uses pencils anymore? Most of the time it's digital note taking, although some people still like to take on paper. Perfectionism is really getting to be an issue now for students, setting unrealistically high standards, tying self-worth to academic achievement. Of course, you want to do well. Of course, you want to progress in your academics. But that doesn't mean that you have to have the top score in every class, no matter what. And if you don't, that you're a failure. Don't do that to yourself. That behavior leads to procrastination, academic burnout, anxiety, and missed deadlines. So if you spend all your time obsessing and trying to plan and trying to be perfect, you can really sabotage your success. So that results in depression, decreased satisfaction, and impairment of the whole learning process. So we don't want to do that. Remember the 5-minute rule and about 60 to 70% prepared. Hopefully you found some useful information in this video. I would love to know some other topics that you might want to hear about, so go ahead and post those in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe so that you can see my next video.